During the mid to late 2000s, I worked in a camera store with a photo lab. We had our fair share of gross, creepy customers that fancied themselves as pro photogs. They shot terrible amateur porn with bad lighting, unattractive models, etc. Our male co-workers usually stepped up to help these customers because the pervs would stare at us, say borderline inappropriate things, or try to get us to look at their terrible porn with them. We had one guy who didn't actually shoot porn, but was equally slimy. He attended porn conventions, yeah, those are a thing, and would bring in a dozen or more rolls of film from these events. Every frame was him posing with the female porn stars. Terrible comparison, but think of a picture you'd take of your child at Disney with Mickey and Minnie. Then replace the characters with porn stars, and replace the child with a hunched over skinny guy that had a greasy bowl cut, beady eyes, wire rimmed glasses, a long skinny nose and virtually no chin. It wasn't just his appearance that was slimy though. There was something just off about him. He was really timid and talked super quiet, so you'd have to lean over the counter and get close to hear him. And he always reeked of too much cologne. The worst part about this guy, besides topping off my internal creep meter, was when he'd come in to pick up his pics. He would spread them out across the counter. There were no nudes, so we couldn't stop him. And whoever was ringing him out had to help him pick out the best ones. It was so uncomfortable. To give you an example, which photo makes it look like we are together? Emphasizing together, and drawing out the word in a nasty, slimy way, while holding up two photos for the poor employee to choose between. He would then order enlargements of the best ones, an 8x10 or sometimes poster size. We used to joke that he lived in his mum's basement and used the enlargements as wallpaper. We had a good laugh at it, but I get shivers down my spine when I think about how that's probably exactly what he did. When I first started working there, I had a co-worker named Jeff who dealt with the porn convention guy. I was actually warned on one of my very first days there not to help him and let Jeff deal with him. I think there had been issues with previous female employees, but I'm not sure. Maybe Jeff just had good intuition. I remember the sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach when we'd see him coming and Jeff wasn't around to help him. We'd actually play the not it game when we saw him in the parking lot. But a few years after I started, Jeff quit. We were all sad because we loved working with him. Then the porn convention guy came in and we were angry at Jeff for leaving us, and now one of us had to help him. My friend Denise was store manager and became his designated employee helper person. Things were fine for a while. Porn convention guy actually liked working with Denise and specifically requested her every time he came in. It weirded her and all of us out, but we were all young and dumb and just went with it. One day I was printing his pics and the last frame on the roll of film was a picture of Denise in the store. It almost looked like an accidental shot, like one that you'd just take to finish off the last frame on a disposable. Regardless, I didn't print it, cut the frame off as negatives and packaged it up. Technically, I could have been fired for that, but I didn't care. Denise approached me later, saying the porn convention guy was upset when he picked up his film. He said one of his pictures was missing. I found the negative in the trash, showed it to her, and I wasn't fired. It happened again the next time he came in, and every time after that. There's one picture of Denise at the end of one of the rolls of film, like he was saving that last frame for when he arrived. We always cut the negative out and played dumb when he asked about the missing photo. Eventually, someone sold him a digital camera, and we printed his pictures from a memory card. We couldn't just cut off the negative anymore. Instead, we edited the picture of Denise to look like crap. Too dark, washed out, bright pink, whatever we felt like that day. He never said anything, but he always seemed disappointed when he was flipping through his pictures and got to that last one. This went on until Denise was promoted to Assistant District Manager, maybe 2 years after Jeff left, and she had to travel between all the stores in the state. I became the manager of our store and had to help this creep. Thankfully, I wasn't his type, probably because I was a giant bitch to him and no images of me or any other employees showed up on his memory cards. One day, Denise is at our store for training and we see porn convention guy in the parking lot. Denise runs to the back room and hid. I went to help him like normal, gearing up my bitch mode. First words out of his mouth, "Where's Denise?" I reminded him for the umpteenth time she no longer worked there. "But her car is here." I'm speechless and just stared at him, jaw on the floor for what felt like 10 minutes, while trying to think of something to say. Finally, words came out. "I'm not sure what she drives, but she's not here. She drives a blue Chevrolet right there," and points at Denise's car. I'm seriously creeped out, grossed out, and completely dumbstruck. All I could say was, "No, it's not," like a stubborn toddler, and walked away. The guy didn't leave. He lingered at the front of the store for a half hour, pretending to look at picture frames. Denise hid in the back room until he left, without buying a frame or saying a word. We called her boss, the district manager, and explained everything. He told Denise not to go back to our store, that he'd handle our training from then. But unfortunately, the porn convention guy hadn't done anything illegal, and nothing he did would warrant us refusing his business, so we had to keep helping him when he came in. Next time he came in, there was a photo of her car in the memory card, which I deleted. Again, something I could get fired for, but who's he going to tell? Denise was basically my boss. Occurred the recession, and our business was hit bad. Our district went from having 25 stores to 3. Most of the managers kept their jobs and moved to one of our 3 remaining stores. Denise became sales manager. I worked in the photo lab. Our store manager was a giant douche. We had a sales guy named Nick that was a big guy and total hard ass. The first time we realised porn convention guy was bringing his pics to our store, Denise wasn't there. I went to print an order and saw his slimy face on my computer screen. I just felt sick to my stomach. I told the manager and everyone about the guy and his fascination with Denise. Nick said he'd help porn convention guy from then on, so no one else would have to deal with it. Denise still drove the blue Cavalier, and the same thing started happening. We'd see him coming, she'd hide in the back. "Where's Denise?" "Not here." "Her car is here." "Not her car." Then he'd linger in the store, hoping to catch a glimpse of her, sometimes for over an hour, and leave without saying or buying anything. We called the cops once, but they said they couldn't do anything. The district manager still wouldn't allow us to refuse him service. We just continued to do what we could. Denise never worked alone, and we always made sure she was safe in her car at night before anyone drove off. Something we did for everyone anyway. It all came to head about 6 months after most of the stores closed. Porn convention guy is in the store lingering. Denise is hiding, and he just strolls on through the door to the photo lab and into the back room where Denise was sitting. Nick and I followed and stood in the doorway, shocked as he stood there staring at her with beady little black eyes, smiling this creepy close-lipped smile. No one said anything for what felt like an eternity. Finally, the store manager pushes through me and Nick in the doorway and tells Porn Convention Guy he can't be there. Porn Convention Guy says nothing, shuffled his feet a bit, but keeps staring at Denise. I could feel how horrified she was from across the room. The useless manager then says, "Sir, you have to leave. We have photo processing chemicals back here. It's against OSHA policy for you to be here." So this stupidest statement ever, by the way. Totally true. Technically, that's why he shouldn't have been back there. But "get the fuck out, you fucking creep" was way more appropriate at that time. Anyways, the manager is essentially useless in this situation. Denise was almost in tears. I'm in shock. And Nick, well, he looked pissed. It happened pretty quick, but I swear, Nick jumped over a 6-foot table and got in Porn Convention Guy's face. Or more like tarred over the cartly little man. Calmly, quietly, but filled with rage and anger, Nick says, "Get the fuck out and don't come back." Porn Convention Guy was practically pissing himself. He backed up towards the sales floor and walked backwards all the way out the door, visibly shaking the entire time. Nick stayed within inches of him until he was outside. We called the cops again. They can't do anything. We called the district manager. Nick got a slap on the wrist for chasing off a paying customer, followed by a "good job." Denise went home for the day. We, of course, walked her to her car. And Porn Convention Guy never came back to pick up his creepy enlargements. I like to think that every time he stares at the gap in his porn convention wallpaper, he remembers Nick towering over him, ready to smash his greasy bowl cut-covered head into the table. Update. After years of accommodating a creepy customer that almost, but not quite, stalked a co-worker, we learned that all we needed was a big, angry male co-worker to scare the shit out of him. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. You can also leave a comment below. All feedback, good or otherwise, is always appreciated. If you have any creepy stories of your own, or have any topics that you would like me to cover, feel free to send them in via any of my social media. You can find all links to my social media in the description below. Until next time guys, make sure you lock your doors, stay safe, and I'll see you next video.